Far from the green fields and stone castles of Sage lay the endless red sands of Vermilion. Here, kingdoms meant little. Outlaws, bounty hunters, ranchers, and gunslingers wrote their own laws beneath the scorching sun. Across the desert rode a lone horseman. A weathered poncho covered his shoulders, a wide-brimmed hat shaded his face. A rifle rested across his back, while two revolvers hung from his belt. At his side was an unusual weapon for a Vermilion gunslinger, a long machete polished to a mirror shine. The people of Vermilion knew him by one name: the Desert. No one knew where he came from, only that those who crossed him rarely lived long enough to regret it. Hours into his journey, he reached a lonely oasis. He removed his hat, knelt beside the water, and drank deeply before allowing his horse to drink as well. The peaceful silence lasted only moments. Gunfire echoed across the dunes. A battered man staggered through the sand while four-mounted riders pursued him, laughing as they fired bullets into the ground around his feet, forcing him to keep running. They had no intention of killing him. They were enjoying the hunt. Tears slowly stood. He placed his hat back upon his head, then mounted his horse. The chase lasted less than a minute. He rode alongside the first pursuer and smashed him from his saddle with a single swing of the machete's flat side. Another fired a revolver. The bullet missed. Tears leaned from his saddle and sliced clean through another rider's saddle straps. Horse and rider separated instantly as the outlaw crashed into the sand. The remaining two finally recognized him. Their confidence disappeared. "It's Tears," one whispered. The four abandoned their hunt. Tears helped the exhausted stranger onto his own horse. The wounded man could barely remain conscious. As Tears began walking beside the horse, one of the retreating riders found his courage. "Hey, Tears." Tears didn't turn around. "You don't scare me." Without looking back, Tears replied calmly, "Go home, cunt. Go learn to cook, brat." The outlaw laughed. "At least I've got a family." Tears stopped walking. The desert became silent. "What did you say?" The outlaw grinned. "I said I've got a..." A single gunshot echoed. The rider fell lifeless from his horse. Before the remaining three could react, three more shots rang out. Each found its mark. Four bodies lay motionless upon the desert floor. Tears holstered his revolver and continued walking as though nothing had happened. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away, in Sage... Bloodworth Brackwood had vanished. Weeks of searching yielded nothing. No witness could say where he had fled. Within Brackwood Manor, Hemingway learned that Alice was with child. Rather than celebrate, suspicion consumed him. Convinced the child might not be his, he stripped Alice of many privileges. Her household budget was slashed. Her attendants were dismissed. He forbade her from accompanying him to royal councils. The woman once destined to become queen was quietly isolated inside her own home. As the sun set over Vermilion, Tears entered the frontier town he called home. Wooden buildings lined a dusty main street. Horses stood tied outside the saloon. Children chased one another between wagons while blacksmiths hammered glowing steel. Gamblers crowded around poker tables. Music drifted from swinging saloon doors. Sheriff's deputies watched every stranger with a hand resting near their holsters. It was a town where every adult carried a gun. Tears ignored the stares. He brought the wounded stranger into his small house on the edge of town. After cleaning his wounds and forcing him to rest through the night, the stranger finally awoke. Tears handed him a cup of water. "Name?" The man hesitated. Bloodworth. Before another word could be spoken, gunshots exploded outside. Windows shattered. Both men dropped behind cover. Bullets tore through the wooden walls. Then, silence. An older voice called from outside. "Tears, I know you're in there. You killed two of my sons. You crippled two more." A long pause followed. "I won't waste bullets today. We settle this tomorrow morning. A duel." The old gunslinger smiled coldly. "I'll kill you, Tears." Then he tipped his hat. "Sleep well, bitch." His men rode away. Inside the house, Bloodworth slowly looked toward the man who had saved his life. For the first time, he realized the legend of Vermilion had enemies just as dangerous as he was. End of episode 2.